Hi nerds, welcome back. Today I wanted to take it all the way down back to basics and talk about different coat types in dogs and why that matters to a dog groomer. The main coat type categories are silk, wire, wool, smooth and double. Starting with what I personally think is by far the easiest groom is a smooth and a double coat. Breeds with these type of coats should both be treated the same way. Put the clippers down. You should only ever clip a breed like this if it's medically necessary and you do have some kind of certificate from the vet saying that, look, you need to do this because of whatever reason they've given. Cutting into the undercoat of the coat like this can actually really damage it, and it may cause the undercoat not to grow back properly, and again this will then lead on to further issues with body heat regulation. A very simple D-shaped groom to remove the old undercoat and a light scissor tidy around all the wispy ends is the best way to groom a coat like this. While silk and wire coated dogs are traditionally hand stripped to maintain the natural texture of the coat, many owners do actually prefer to have this kind of coat clipped just for maintenance purposes. You may also find that spaying or neutering a dog can affect the coat texture, so you may not be able to hand strip after that. The coat tends to turn quite soft and fluffy, so in these cases clipping is going to be the only option. Now when it comes to maintenance, we all know that wool coated dogs are by far up the top in the frequency of grooming required. As wool coats don't really tend to shed naturally and they just carry on growing, you need to be really on top of the regular brushing and grooming, otherwise you will just end up dealing with mats down the line. Wool coats can be clipped or scissored, but the technique used has no effect on the coat texture itself. A lot of dog owners seem to claim that you should only ever hand scissor a certain woolly coated breed, because if you clip the dog you ruin the coat, but that is just not true. Scissors and clippers do exactly the same thing, the only difference is one is manual and one uses power. So next time you have someone arguing with you saying that, oh well, you should only hand scissor my dog because if you clip the coat it's ruined, that is just not true. It's a bit of an urban legend and I don't quite know where that's come from. Now, I'm sure we've all dealt with a lot of inquiries over the phone saying, oh, I have a Pomeranian cross Shih Tzu, I have a Husky Poodle, I have this and that. How much do you charge and what will that groom involve? Quite honestly, there isn't an answer to that question until you actually see the dog in person and have your hands on the coat. Because with crossbreeds, you just don't know what genes have been passed onto the dog from the parents. A Husky Cross Poodle could just look like a Husky, it could look like a Cockapoo, you just won't know. So the best thing is to say, hang on, until I see the dog in person I cannot tell you, or ask the owner to send you a picture for a bit of a better idea of what to do and how much it would cost. It's always best to be more cautious than just go ahead and say something over the phone, because some people may just hold on to that and say that, oh well, you said this over the phone, why wasn't that done? So it's just to cover your own back and keep the customer happy. Now, I do actually have a couple book recommendations as well. The first one being The Dog Groomer's Manual by Sue Gold. This is an absolute Bible if you're only just getting into dog grooming. I did get this when I first started college myself, and there is a huge section about coat types in this book. It starts from page 94, and at the end of it, it does also have a little graph of different coat types and the breed that goes along with it. Obviously, this isn't every single breed in the world, it just kind of covers the most common ones, so it would definitely get you started if you're not quite sure. And the second recommendation I have is the Kennel Club's Illustrated Breed Standards book. So while this book doesn't tell you what to do, if you open up any kind of breed, it will tell you exactly what they look like and what type of coat they do have. So I've opened up into the Westie, and in the coat section it reads, double coated, outer coat consists of harsh hair about 5 centimeters long, free from any curl. Undercoat which resembles fur, short, soft and close. Now, so even though this does say double coated, it doesn't mean double coated in the sense where you think German Shepherds or Newfies. You would either clip or hand strip this type of coat, so it is just something that will come with practice and you shouldn't be taking this book completely literally. But if you ever get a phone call about a dog breed that you've never heard of, it's a great reference point to see what kind of dog you're going to be dealing with, so you have at least a rough idea of what to do and what to suggest to the owner. And while I was actually browsing this book, I landed onto the Hungarian Puli page. So this is another coat type that we are not likely to see in a salon, but I just figured that I'll mention it anyways. So the Pulis do fall under the corded category. So as you can see, you can look it up online, they do have a naturally corded coat. It doesn't mean that it's matted, it's just the way it forms. But like I said, it's not something that we're really gonna bump into as groomers. It's something that an owner will deal with themselves. But it was definitely worth mentioning just so you are aware that they do exist. So if anyone ever brings you about a Puli, you know what to expect. And there you have it, guys. That was very condensed. I could talk about coat types for absolutely hours, but I'm not going to to put you guys through that. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, do leave it a little thumbs up. It does really help out my channel, and maybe consider subscribing to the channel as well so you don't miss my next video. Bye guys.